was just down.
Hey guys, Hollow Vision Car Edition here with another awesome project. So, let's see, we did the Volkswagen, we've done the $100 camper shell, canopy, that was fun. So, the biggest thing is just recently I sold my truck, and we got a family mover. We're going to be having a third kid, I should say. So I needed a bigger car, so we got us an SUV. So I no longer have a truck, which sucks, but I'll get another one next year, whatever. So that said, we do a lot of camping. We very much enjoy our kayaking, fishing, all that stuff. And so we're going to need extra room. We're going to need a place to put cool stuff. And we're going to go camping a lot. And so the solution for not having a truck for the time being is this bad boy right here. Look at this thing, man. I got this off Craigslist for $200. Now, you can find a lot of little trailers for $200 on Craigslist, but in my humble opinion, I don't think you'll find one that's this well built. Or with the axle that's sturdy. It's got a really nice jack on there. I mean, it's nothing like to look at it. You go, oh, it's okay. It doesn't look that nothing real special, which is not. But it is the perfect platform for a camping little expedition trailer. So I have no idea what brand it is or what, but I can tell by taking a look at it, it's made pretty well. It's got, good welds. It uses quality material. For some reason, someone had taken off the fenders, so the guy just threw in these fenders. He had them sitting around. So I'm going to mount those up. So this is our next project. I'm going to turn this into a really cool little camping expedition trailer. I envision building these sides up a little bit more. So it's about counter height. It's going to have things probably... It's up in the air right now, but maybe some things that close on top to keep everything, it rains a lot up here in the Northwest where I live. So I want to try to keep it away from a lot of rain. Maybe not waterproof, but at least somewhat out of the elements. So I can put stuff in there and it stay dry. And tall enough to where I've seen some stuff online where you close these down and then you flip them back the other way with some little hangers, and you got like a counter, like a working surface that you could put a stove on there, like a little working kitchen. So a lot of ideas in the works, nothing in permanent, but I'm really excited about. I'm going to get some really sweet LED light kit for this and make some really cool lights for it. That's kind of my my thing when it comes to trailers, is having really sweet, clean, awesome looking lights. And so I'm going to see how I'm going to mount these fenders. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I want to make it look real nice. And then I'm going to sand this whole thing down. I'm probably going to take the axle. I might take the axle off and just make sure everything's cleaned up, repaint everything underneath. It's going to be like a rebuild pretty much. This thing got bent. So obviously they had a jack on there, and at some point probably had something pretty heavy on here, because I would think that would be kind of hard to bend that, but I don't know if you can see that in the video very well, but that tube is definitely bent. So if I can't bend it back, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I'm not going to have tons of weight on here, so not going to take much to carry what I need, so I'm not worried about it. But just from a looks standpoint, I would love to get that straightened out. So we'll see. I might try to mess with that and see if I can do it. But other than that, I'm going to clean it all up. It's nice and rusty, and paint's all chipped, and it's pretty rough. I think the guy said that had it before, they mounted some kind of piece of equipment on it and used a piece of equipment on it. And so you can see So the bolt holes where the piece of equipment stood, and there used to be a bunch of oil and crud under there. I pressure sprayed it off yesterday. So yeah, I'm super excited about this. This is going to be a cool little project. So I'm always trying to improve whenever I do one of these YouTube projects or whatever, my production value. So I can't guarantee anything, but I got a few things that I learned when I did my canopy. You know, I started doing some time-lapse stuff, which I think is really fantastic. And so I'm going to guess just to get some stuff done, and we're going to see how much better I can improve my YouTube skills on this time, or my video editing skills, all that stuff. And but bottom line, we're just going to have another cool, fun project. So stay tuned, hang out, tag along, whatever. All right, here we are. Let's get this thing started. So what I'm going to do to begin with is I'm going to get some jack stands under here, get a jack under here, and I'm going to get these wheels off. I'm going to get all the suspension out from underneath it, make sure everything's good to go, and at the very least we're going to clean it up and repaint it, because I want this thing to be like brand new when I get done with it. So that's going to be the first step, and then we'll move on. I'm going to take this wire mesh off here, a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to get crazy with this thing. That's not even including all the cool stuff we're going to weld up on here. So first things first, we're going to get this axle off and look underneath the trailer, see what it's looking like. So that other side came off pretty good. Pretty stoked. So I'm going to grab this other side off real quick, but just want to say, make sure to get you some penetrating spray on there before you go. Leverage is your friend. Get you a pipe. I keep these in my garage all the time. Fit over all my wrenches. And I'm telling you, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Now, when you're talking about bolts like this, little small ones, you might want to be careful in terms of, you got to be okay that you're going to replace them if they're that bad, because it'll snap the bolt too. There's some pretty mean torque when you get this set up. Anyways, I'm going to get these bad boys off. If it's as easy as the other side, we're in business. Oh yeah, that one's pretty good. Time for my torque monster, yeah! Oh yeah. All right, baby. Let's get this off here. Look at that. Yeah, baby. We are off. I could actually take that axle out now. And I was looking at it. I'll show you guys in a minute, but that axle is bent. Which makes sense because this tire wears really bad on the outside. And it's because that axle's bent and it tilts that tire out like that. So that's kind of cool to know. Some people might be kind of bummed out about that. For one thing, I think it's gonna be easy fix. I'm not too worried about it. I think we're gonna get it fixed pretty simple. But even if I can't, I'm not really worried about it, because I think whoever had this before, that tire got worn because they used it for like every day. They used it on their main road, like job that they did or something. I'm gonna use this a weekend, you know, like 6 or 8 weekends a year. I'll probably never even go through a set of tires as long as I own this trailer, so really not worried about it. But I'd like to have it nice, so I'm gonna see if I can fix it. We'll see. I've never bent an axle before, or unbent an axle before, so we'll see. Yeah, getting this going right now. So I got these off. I'm not going to say it was easy, but it was not near as hard as I thought it would be. I definitely used my torque monster, but that top one gave me, it was tight all the way till the last minute, but they're off. They're rusty. Threads are still intact, but you know what? For the price of new, really high quality hardware, I'm definitely going to get some new bolts and nuts for that. But other than that, I'm going to drop this one, and then I'm going to do this other side over here, and then I'm going to drop this axle out. Don't fight it, baby. You know it's what's best for you. Come on. Okay, we have an axle now. See that? Oh my gosh. The other side came off easy. That one gave me a hard time. It like rusted together, and I had to beat it out of there. But I did beat it. I'm gonna have to beat this back, weld it back, or bend it back. I might actually just chop that off, and I don't think I'm gonna mount the lights there. Mount the lights somewhere else. I don't know. What do you guys think? I kind of like them. I kind of like them when they're higher up. Like the trailer's probably gonna be about that tall when we're done. I wouldn't mind having the trailer lights like right here. I like them kind of high. They look cool. When they look low, they just look kind of dumb. Or not dumb, they just don't look as good. So we got the axle out, and it's rusty. I'm going to bust out my pressure washer and get this thing cleaned off and assess the hardware situation. Alright, here we are. Look at that nasty. Oh man, soaking this stuff in this. That. No, that's not that. Power Purple, that's what I'm using. So, soaking the stuff to get all this stuff off, and then I took that to the stuff. It's doing pretty good. I think I'm going to get my wire wheel on my drill, because that's going to get it much better. Actually, these U-bolts, I think I'm going to be able to reuse those again. They're not bad. Clean them up with my wire wheel, repaint them. I think we'll be good to go. Done a few little things here and there. Got my road hammer. Call it a road hammer because I found it on the side of the road. Someone was bummed to lose that. Got my road hammer and straightened this bad boy out. It was all bent like over here. Bent it out over here, and then I bent that back in best I could. Not bad for a little camp trailer. I mean, you know, it doesn't gotta be perfect. It's not a nice car or something. I'm gonna do this bad boy right here. See, it's all bent right there. That bothers me. Look at that. Wow. I'm a body shop master. Look at that. Man, maybe I should open up my own body shop. Look at that. Ready? Oh, that one's not as easy. Drinks in too, so hopefully my camera skills are not horribly diminished. I know they are, but hopefully they're not. Okay, yeah, that's looking pretty good. This has turned out to be a really cool build so far. You know, $200 trailer. I expected stuff like, you know, you got a little bent freaking axle. Who cares, dude? I'm gonna have to figure out how to get those fenders on there. And see the next one. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that. What do they call it? Expanded metal. For all you technical folk, expanded metal. I'm gonna get that off there. Get my grinder. But it's getting kind of late tonight. It's like Saturday night, Thanksgiving weekend, and I think I'm gonna not do that tonight because it's like 7 o'clock, which is not that late, but I don't want to get the grinder out right now, so I'm just going to tinker around. I got the wires out from underneath it. Obviously, I'm going to rewire it all and all that stuff. Maybe I'll get my wire wheel out and start cleaning up all that junk all over. It's just got some nasty stuff all over it. Anyways, enough drunk rambling for me. All right. We're getting some stuff done right now. So I've been working on cutting out these welds. It started out, I was going to cut off this with my grinder, and then it grew into that. So, still got to finish up that one and that one. We'll do a little time lapse action right. All right, so it's the next morning. I had fun last night getting all this stuff off, all the expanded metal off this bad boy. So, and I was able to kind of clean up some of this stuff. See where I had like the metal, I was able to grind it off. I got about right here. And then I still have the rest of those to do. So working on that. Other thing I was doing is, these are the Shackles. So I'm just like really, I've got my little wire wheel right here. Putting up these Shackles nice. There's Chase waiting his Taco Bell. So that's what they look like originally. Well, actually, that's what it's been like after I soaked it overnight in Power Clean Crud Cutter, whatever it's called. And that's a little better, but I'm gonna get my flap disc and make it like brand new looking. Some might ask, why doesn't it's stupid? Why waste your time? It's all gonna be the same, and you're not gonna see it. But I don't know. I just want it to be clean and new. I was actually gonna buy new ones because they were too rusty looking, and I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I can get my flap disc, make them look brand new, paint them, and save myself 20 bucks or whatever buying all new hardware. But I will need to buy these anyways because I beat on these pretty good getting them out, and the threads are not the greatest, especially like even that one's not bad. One of these is like horrible. I couldn't even get a nut on it. But someone buy me some new bolts. Looking in here, they don't look all that bad, but they are. They are. So yeah, this stuff's all good. Same thing. It's not bad. I'm going to flap disc and paint that too. So I learned some stuff on our axle over here. It's got a tag on here, and I was doing some research, and I was worried that the axle was bent. And I was thinking, like, how the hell did that thing get bent? And I went online really quick to take a look and see, like, is that normal? And I looked, and the first handful I looked at were all straight. I'm like, that's not normal. Of course it's not normal. So I went through shenanigans trying to straighten it, and it's stout, it's sturdy. But so it didn't, it's still the same as it was. And then I started looking at them online. I looked at the part number from this axle and looked at it online. They come like that. They're designed like that. So kind of dumb trying to straighten the axle that was already perfect. But that's good. I feel better because it's still just the way it was, and it's the way it is meant to be. So it's cool. I'm learning, and I like learning. So anyways, another thing I learned is I think it's a D20 axle, which means it's either a 2,000 pound or a 2,200 pound axle, which makes more sense. I saw some that looked just like it that were 3,500 pound axles. But yeah, so it's a 2,000 pound axle. The bend in the middle is supposed to be there. That's normal. So if you're curious, the reason why I thought that there was something wrong with it when I saw the bend is because the way the trailer tires, so this is on one side, this is on the other, and this is on the outside. And this is all wearing funny. So I figured it got bent and it was wearing funny, but there's some other contributing factor because this whole tire is jacked up. They're old and they're cheap tires anyway. So another thing is I'm going to buy some new wheels and tires for this thing. I found some on Craigslist. There's actually a set of 4, really nice, like way nicer looking than those, for 125 bucks, and then I'll take 2 of them and sell them, or I'll just sell those and keep a couple for spares. But good price. So I think I'm going to do that if they get back to me. So now I'm just I'm going to get that light off there. I'm going to be going through cleaning up all this mess from the expanded metal, the little welded on pieces that were left over, and I'm going to just start flat disking the whole thing, get it all ground down. Well, not ground down, but get all the paint off. I want to get it set up so I can paint it. I'm contemplating taking the wood off. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not yet. I could probably just do that. I know I've seen new trailers where they just paint the wood too. So we'll see, but making progress. All right, it's grinding time. It looks a little silly, but you gotta have a face mask, dust mask when you're doing rust. And I find if you put a little piece of tape right there, your glasses won't fog up. Alright, gosh, I finally got all those stupid little weld-on points from the expanded steel. All these little things. Gosh, that was a pain in the butt, man. So now we're just left with that messy, whatever, smooth surface. So, next step, what I'm going to do here is flat disc everything. Oh, alright, plugging along. Killing my back here. So all of you Oregon Ducks fans, the green and blue, or the green and yellow, you're going to be sad because those colors are not coming back. But, so that's kind of like what we started with. This is kind of what we're ending up with right over here. So I started doing the flap disc and it was not working very well. I put on the cutting disc or whatever it's called, I don't know, and it's just taking it right off. Leaves it a little bit rough, so I'll go back with the flap disc and smooth it all out before I paint, obviously. But it's coming along pretty well. Had a lot of rust down here where the fender was. Not shocked, but I'm getting it all off, and I'm kind of excited. It's nice to see it like down to metal. Alright, the last part of the yellow pinstriping. God! See ya! Alright, so I've been grinding on this thing all freaking day, hours. Got all the, well, 95% of the paint off, and I cut the brackets to hold the brake lights because I'm going to relocate them. So here's what we're looking at. There's a couple spots I missed. That and the other side of that beam I still got to get. But most of it I got. Oh, light bracket's gone. Over here, lights bracket's gone, and that. Probably gonna have to live with that. I don't know if I'm gonna put a bunch of work into doing that. That was bent before. I bent it back, but it bent that, so I don't know if it's worth putting any work into trying to make that better. It's just a stupid little trailer. I mean, I want it to look good, but it's, how far do you take it, right? At what point does it become ridiculous? And I'm starting to do Bondo work on a friggin' utility trailer. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call it for this episode or step, whatever. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it over on its side, and I'm going to get off underneath it, clean it all up, blah, blah, blah. And then I got to spend some time this week really putting into thought how I'm going to configure this trailer. Am I going to like put partitions up and put cabinets, or am I just going to build it up and have one big storage space with like closing things like I talked about with like the little counters. My wife was talking about maybe building it up, having that, but having it sturdy so it's rainproof all the time, but then I could have doors down here on each side, and then from here back have a board that folds down that you could swing up and fold up for table space or like counter space on both sides, which is good. And then another thing we talked about is something that flips up and then has a thing that slides out the back, so you could actually be back here and there would be more counter space that comes out here and out here, so you could access whatever's inside and have like a counter on each side to cook. It'd be almost like a little kitchen. Be kind of cool. So got some ideas. We'll see how it goes, but so far I'm happy with the progress, and I might work on it a little over the week. Probably hit it again next weekend, but this is the end of this one, so have a great day.